sympathy. Poor John Beliein. He went for his dream, and it didn't work out. But I do think it's kind of disgusting the way they dealt with him, the way players dealt with him.
I'm just
and
curious.
I do feel bad that it ended like this, and I don't think it changes his reputation as a college coach.
I don't either.
And I don't think it changes his tremendous reputation at Michigan. And I don't even know if he's going to go back to college or if he wants to, because the grind was already annoying him. Maybe he goes back and coaches at a lower level or something like that.
You guys don't think part of that's self-inflicted, though?
Yes,
I do.
If he just,
absolutely.
If he would have just come out and admitted, yeah, I used the word thug, it was a mistake, he'd probably still be coaching.
No, he did, though. He came out and admitted that. But his explanation, they didn't buy.
He said
he
it.
meant to say
I meant to
slug.
say slugs, which
Right.
no one believed. I mean, doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be any better if he said, yeah, I did call you thugs and you are thugs.
No,
That wouldn't have worked either.
I think I didn't realize the connotation of it, and
Yeah.
I made a mistake. It was a poor choice of words. Instead of trying to phrase it as, I meant to say slug, as if anyone would say that.
You might be right. However, I think he was already dead at that point.
Yeah, I kind of think so,
I
too.
think the players already, I don't think they disliked him for the thug remark or slug. I think they disliked him because he went in there and he tried to change the culture, which you can't blame him for. However, when you try to change the culture of a bunch of guys that have been doing it one way for a very long time and they don't want to see things your way, how do you think things are going to go?
Right.
And as you know, in the NBA, the coach always goes before the players. But I will say this, Woj, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel bad for him. You do. Like, when you wrote that "So Sorry, John Beliein" sympathy note, like, how did it go? Did you text it to him? Did you mail it to him?
Yeah, well, it's Beeline, so I telegraph. It's me to Beeline.
You faxed it?
So it had to be telegraphed or faxed. Before we go back to the phones, a couple of ticket texts here. The veterans on that team poisoned the team. Why would the kids take Beeline serious when the vets didn't? I blame Beeline for giving up too early and not trying to adjust. It is true. Love and Tristan Thompson, those guys apparently were quickly. Like the first practice when he was having him do bounce passes or chest passes, and Kevin Love, like during a game, just whipped the ball to say, like, "See there, are you happy now?"
But see, that's my whole point, though. Like, some of that's on Beeline. Like, I know everybody's like, oh, yeah, how dare he make them do fundamentals. But some of that is on Beeline. You have to find the mix. You have to find a way to kind of adjust slowly.
But in some cases, it's not like he was generally a pretty tough guy and he just decided to go in and be all tougher. He was being who he is. You're asking somebody to completely change who they are, which is why Izzo, while he has thought about it over the years, never did it, because I think deep down he knew he couldn't completely change his persona. And as much as you say, all right, I'm going to adjust, I'm going to soften, I'm going to listen, when that's such a part of who you've been for your entire career, I don't think it's as easy as you think. Just saying.
Take some calls, and then at 3:47, Sully and Hatchet have the 10 pressing Detroit sports issues.
It's a blizzard. Go.
No, a blitz.
Oh.
Yeah. You good?
I thought that's what I said.
No, you always have food on the mind.
Let's go to the phones.
Scott, you're on the ticket. Hey, Scott, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hello, Scotty.
I kind of feel bad for Beliein. I mean, at least he, made an attempt at it. He failed. Coaching those overpaid, kind of washed-up players in the NBA, it's got to be tough. He's always been a tough coach. Did a lot of stuff in Michigan, but they're kind of babies. Tristan Thompson, Kevin Love, and even Drummond. I'm glad Drummond's gone.
Mm-hmm.
But the thug remark, whether he said it, not, own it. But does he have a history of, that?
No, he doesn't.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
Scott, and as bad as it is, whether he said slug because he means they were moving slow, or whether he said thug and didn't understand it, whatever the case is, like, I honestly don't think that was the tipping point. I think the players decided well before that Beliein wasn't the guy, right or wrong, and I think they decided to make a big issue out of it. Because how did it come to light in the first place? A player told an agent. Right? So I wonder if they were Beliein fans and thought he was a good coach and liked the job that he was doing, if we ever even hear that story.
No, correct.
Yeah, it was, well before, when he came in, probably coaching them hard, they're not used to, like you coach college players. They're used to that hard work, but NBA, they get paid, and, they don't think they need to work as hard. So
Right. And it's different. Like in college, your team is all about the same age. The difference between a freshman and a senior is, a few years. Here you have 20-year-old rookies and 32-year-old veterans, and you're trying to teach fundamentals. And I'm not defending Kevin Love or Tristan, but I could see how they were kind of go, really?
Like it's the same
We're
with Patricia.
practicing bounce passes. You know, I can see how that would be more difficult and would be incumbent on Beliein or whoever to adjust.
It's the same with Patricia. When you're younger, you are going to listen because your job depends on it and your contracts depend on it. But Thompson and Kevin Love, I mean, these guys have guaranteed money. They just signed Kevin Love to what? A 4-year, $120 million deal last year.
Just like they're going to waste money on Drummond.
100%. But if you're
Tristan
Kevin
Thompson.
Love, you're probably like, screw this. I'm not going through this. But it's kind of the same as Matt Patricia. At least to me it is.
I suppose. Ticket text here, 97136 from Chuck in St. Clair Shores. I do not blame Coach B. Old school coaches are being weeded out because athletes these days are crybabies. It's happening in the NHL big time. The NHL fires like a coach a week.
They're up to 8.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, by the way, like you can hate the culture, if you will, that the NBA players are not paying attention to the coaches and they're harder to coach. You can hate it. But if you know that's how it is, and it's fact, then who really is at fault? The guy that doesn't adjust to it and thinks he can change it? If you're John Beliein, you know you can't change it. So you have to find a way to survive.
You're right, the coach. But this was a case like in most good NBA teams, you recognize the players, your 2 or 3 superstars, they run the show, got to make sure they get everything that they need. You understand? You go to the Cavaliers, did you really think there were prima donnas there that felt they needed to run the show? I mean, have you looked at that roster?
But when you go in and do an hour worth of bounce passes, I don't know.
I still think nobody there was worthy of that type of coddling.
And that's fine, but again, you just can't change how it is. You can think you can change it. You just can't.
I know.
Let's go to Jeff. You're on the ticket. Hey, Jeff, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, fellas?
Hello, Jeffrey.
Hey, I hate to see what's happening to Beliein. I'm a Michigan fan, but it's all self-inflicted, and it's not the thug comment that did it. Like, he's too much of a teacher for the NBA. I don't know what made him think that his style would work in the NBA. Them guys was going to be dogging him by the end of the year anyway because he's too much of a teacher. Them guys ain't there for that. They're not there to do bounce passes for an hour. They're not there to shoot with a basketball that's got a piece of tape over it to make sure that you're shooting it right. They're not there for that.
I could use that.
Yeah. No, you're right. And the evidence in this case, I hate to say it, does support the players. I mean, the teams that win have stars that just do their thing. They're not running sets and, triangle and one or whatever. They're stars doing their thing.
No, he was going to be treated like a substitute teacher by the end of the year just because of the way he coaches. Them guys just
But Jeff,
I don't know what made him think that it was going to work, though. That's the part that bothers me.
Well, see, that's why I wonder, though, if John Beliein changed his ways just a little bit, or if he got the guys to like him, or if he was less, watching tape and fundamentals and more something else. Like if he just adjusted somehow, if he actually got their don't you think things could have been different?
Well, Jeff, let me ask you this. What if you say, I don't understand why he thought it would work? What if he really didn't know or think if it would work? What if he just was so sick of the college grind and all the players jumping? He had a big problem with players jump. And what if he just said, you know what, I'm taking something different. I just got
take an assistant job first. Take an assistant job. But this wouldn't have worked with the Golden State Warriors.
No, you're right. It wouldn't. You're correct. But it is sort of disgusting that the Cleveland Cavaliers, of all people, of all crappy teams, would drive them out.
248-539-9797. If you want to hit on this, do you
Time
feel
for the
bad
Blizzard
for Beliein, or do you blame him? You can hit on this. But coming up next, the Blitz 97.1.